Hello, this is Charlie Thomas, lead singer of the Drifters. Ever since 19, whatchamacallit. That's back in the days. I don't want to really tell you the year because you wouldn't believe it anyway, but I've been with the Drifters just that long.
Okay, Charlie. Now, one of the, I want to thank you, first of all, for granting me this interview.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to try to go back, and as far as I can remember, with the Drifters. When did the Drifters get started? And what year did you join the Drifters?
Well, the Drifters was started way before me, along with Clyde McFadden, a few more other guys, but I came in with Benny King about in 1956, 57, somewhere around there. I was on the first record with Benny King of There Goes My Baby.
Are you from New York? Where were you originally?
I'm from New York City. Yeah.
Thought maybe you're a Southern boy like me. And
well, I was born in the South, you know, but then I came to New York when I was 14, and I was fortunate to meet the Drifters when I was 16.
Yeah, where were you born in the South?
I was born in Virginia.
I figured that too.
Near Richmond.
Yeah. Okay, now I know Clyde McFadden, to my knowledge, was he the first lead singer with the Drifters?
Yeah, he was the first lead singer with the Drifters. He used to be with the Dominoes. Jackie Wilson and him used to be with Billy Ward, the Dominoes, and they left. They broke up from Billy Ward, and Clyde McFadden came with George Treadwell, which is Sarah Vaughan's husband, and he got the name the Drifters, and he gave George Treadwell a part owner in the Drifters, and that's how the Drifters started.
Now you said part owner.
Yeah, he used to be a partner with Clyde McFadden back in
Do any of you Drifters today, do you have an ownership in the
I
Drifters?
have the ownership now.
You are the manager of the Drifters?
I am the man of the Drifters. I own the name of the Drifters.
That's
George
good.
Treadwell left it to me.
Good. Okay, now, well, I know you said they've been around. They came out of the Dominoes. Now, approximately what year are we talking about that the Drifters started?
Well, let's see. I think Clyde, he left the Dominoes about in the 40s, somewhere in the 40s, you know, and he came out to join the Drifters.
Okay, I know Clyde McFadden left, became a successful, singer.
Yeah.
And a single-on his on, and so did Benny King.
Yeah.
Was there any other to leave the Drifters?
Rudolph Lewis, he did on Broadway and a few other songs. Johnny Moore, he did Under the Boardwalk, and he just went off. He's still running around the country now, but see, all of them just refuse to let the people know that I own the Drifters, you know.
Why is that?
I don't know why, but I guess, well, you look at like black entertainers and black man looking at another black man to be boss or whatever, you know what I mean? But I guess they just didn't want me to have that kind of, be in that situation, you know. But ever since about 69, I took owning of the Drifters when George Treadwell died.
Okay, now you spoke of Rudy. Are you talking about Rudy, the one they found with a drug overdose?
It wasn't a drug overdose.
Oh, this is why I
well,
take that back.
Well,
this is what Jet magazine reported at the time.
Jet is wrong.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now what happened to Rudy?
Rudy was in a party with Jackie Wilson. He was drinking very heavy at a place called a Small Paradise on 125th Street. It's changed so many hands by now.
Chamberlain at one time.
Not Smalls. It was not the Baby Grand. It was another one, another club they used to have on 125th Street. But Will Chamberlain did own the Smalls Paradise. But it used to be, I can't recall the club. It used to be two clubs on 125th Street, and him and Jackie Wilson was hanging out real tough. And that night, Rudy got real drunk, you know, and they found him gagging on, like neck bones, food. He probably ate late that night and went to sleep, and he gagged up and brought his food back on. He choked on it.
Had this story ever been clarified before? Because this is the impression that
that's what I tell everyone. But a lot of people say that all entertainers die of drugs and so on. That's the way they look at most entertainers. But most entertainers don't die of drug habits or whatever that is. I hope they don't get that idea about me because I don't smoke, I don't drink, and no kind of drugs would I put in my body. But Rudy, it's never been clarified. I mean, they say things like that about black entertainers. Most all of them die of drugs and stuff like that, but they don't look at it like it is, And that's a shame that all entertainers you see as black have to die from drugs, some kind of terrible life, And that kind of bring their family down too, you know, bring the entertainer's family down too, you know, in the eyes of the public, you know, why they have a son was on drugs and so on. But believe me, Rudolph Lewis didn't die of drugs. He was a gospel singer with Claire Ward too for so many years, you know, and he really believed in Christ. I know this because I live with him, you know.
I take your word for it. And
I thank you.
That's why I want, you know, I am very grateful that I am able to get this interview with you because it is for posterity purposes. If it never goes anywhere else,
I
at
hear
least
you.
we'll have an accurate record somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate this.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to speak about any of my friends. I mean, anyone you wish to know of. I can speak from Benny King, Clyde McFadden on down, because all of them I live with and I know them as persons, you know, as individuals, you know.
You guys still friends today? You and
Oh, we're
Benny
still
King?
friends. I mean, Benny King, that's the best friend I ever could have, you know. We've been friends ever since ever since I left Virginia and came to New York City, 16 years old, you know, and still friends, you know.
Are you married? You spoke of families. Are you a family man, married?
Yeah, I got 4 kids. I'm not married now, but I got 4 kids. Me and my wife back in the years had a little static, and that's the way it goes. So, but I still got my kids, and we're doing good, you know.
Are those into entertainment?
Oh yeah, I got 2 boys is into entertainment. I got 2 of them. They like to rap, you know.
And you got to get away from that. I hope you can change it. It's coming back, you know.
Yeah, but I got one that really love oldie but goodie rock and roll, you know. So, and he looks up to me for that. The other one looks up to me as being entertainment in the limelight. So they're doing their own thing, and I don't like to stop my kids from doing whatever. Not even in the Christian or the life of Christ, whatever they want to pick. You know, if it satisfies them, it's got to satisfy me. I hate drugs or anything like that around them, and I tell them I hate it around me because it's the devil working at each other's brains.
Now you speak, you mentioned going back to the roots of what has gotten us thus far, Christianity or religion. Or
Yeah.
I use the word Christianity because we're not all Christians. Some of us are.
Right.
Are you heavily into that aspect of that part of your life?
Well, my stepfather, he was a holy roller preacher in Virginia,
Yeah.
you know, and I came to New York City, and like I worked and the stuff that I seen in New York City, I couldn't believe, you know. Like when I was young, the city was so big, I was trying to see everything, and some of the drug stuff I ran into, but thank God I never used it, you know. And that's I put all my praise in God, you know, and that's the one that's seeing me through now and keeping me on the right straight and forward line, you know.
How is Benny King accepting? I use the term loosely. This next generation, you know, enjoying his music, especially with "Stand By Me" being reissued.
Yeah, well, a lot of them don't even know. You know, they don't even know that "Stand By Me" was recorded back in the 50s too. You know, a whole lot of them, they just think that "Stand By Me" was just recorded. You know, so I mean, it's a funny world. I mean, I look at the younger generation, but like they say, everything goes around, comes around, and that's true. You know, and so all the young people, I would tell them this to them now. You know, if they don't straighten out their life, you know, and they're treating people bad, and what goes around comes around, and they're gonna get it awful hard. You know, so if you're on the right path of education and leaving that drugs alone and being good to the family, that's the best way to go. And keep yourself up and keep yourself neat. Praise God. You know. That's the best way to go, because it's true. Everything goes around, comes around. Even the suit that you're wearing, it might go out of style, but in time to come, it's going to come back.
Put it in
You
the
know?
closet and get it back. Right?
Oh, yes.
And I see, I've been reading reports that the Drifters have sold more than 20 million records, singles, and about, 8 million albums. I would have to think it's more than that.
Yeah. Well, Henry, we have had a lot of gold, man. A lot of plaques, and thank God they put me in the Hall of Fame, too. I really want that. That was one of the best moments of my life, to get into the Hall of Fame. You know, we have had so many gold records and so many wonderful lead singers. You know, like I said, Rudolph Lewis, Clyde McFadden, Benny King, Johnny Moore, Johnny Darrell. You know, and guys just they came and went. You know, and a couple of them went into the Hall of Fame with me. Benny King and Johnny Moore went into the Hall of Fame too. You know, Rudolph Lewis went into the Hall of Fame. You know, he's late and past and gone. Clyde McFadden went in, and they deserved every bit of it. You know, because back in that time they really did please the people. You know, and the people is the one that really put them in there too.
Why you never left to become a singer?
Well, I don't see no difference. I mean, I guess Be a singer. I don't see no different. I'm still Charlie Thomas, whether I go or stay. You know, they say more money, have more money. I guess I'd be lonely out there by myself. You know, I got 4 guys behind me there, and they're tremendous. They're like brothers to me, just like when Benny King and Johnny Moore and Rudy Lewis was with me. You know, I don't know. I'm just a drifter. I guess that's my name anyway. I drift from Virginia to New York City, and I'm still moving. You know.
You're still living in New York?
I'm still living in New York with my mother, and my mother's around me too. As long as she's there and with the love that she gives me, I don't think there's nothing greater in the world.
Okay, now, Atlantic had a lot of energy back in those days when Atlantic was Atlantic.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys grew up together, you know, I guess Aretha, you know, a whole bunch of them.
Oh, yeah. Dionne Warwick, Aretha Franklin, Burt Bacharach, Carole King, Burt Burns, Wilson Pickett, Solomon Burt, Otis Redding.
It was a lot of energy coming out of it.
Ray Charles, yeah, that was the master of all. Yeah, he kept the foot in the pants. He couldn't see us, but he kept the foot on us.
Yeah. Now, what I want to ask you, you know, you hear about, you know, Little Richard and guys like that, who also was with Atco at one time, wasn't he? I know he was special.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you hear about, you know, people not getting what was due to them during that.
Oh, yeah, that was the big ripoff. But now they got a gentleman that's really doing it for all the older entertainers. He's getting all the back money that the guys didn't get at that time. You know, he's getting his little taste of it, but all the back money that we didn't get at that time, he takes the company that that didn't give us the money, give us back to take them to courthouse, and they get up off the money.
I was reading that Ruth Brown, I think it was saying something about some gentleman.
It's a gentleman that's doing that, and it's a great thing. You know, he's doing it for me too. You know, Atlantic, it wasn't the one that was ripping off. It wasn't them. It was the managers. You know, and that was ripping off. You know, partners in managership and so forth. They groups used to go around and have 3 and 4 managers. You know? And they all together, they get together and just rip the groups off, you know. But me, myself, now I think I make more money than I ever made.
Yeah. So the drifters and you guys that you have, you are getting your royalties and things.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting the positions, yes.
And you own all the songs and everything?
I don't own all the songs. I just own the name, The Drifters, as of about 3 or 4 years ago. I own the name of The Drifters. Maybe 20 years ago, you say. It just seemed like day before yesterday to me.
Yeah. And who are the guys with you today? What are their names?
Barry,
how long they've been with you?
Barry Hobbs is my childhood friend. He was in the group with Benny King and I. Okay. He's the bass singer. They put him in the Hall of Fame along with I and Benny King. And I have 2 young guys. They're very nice singers. Dave Revels is a baritone and Mike Racer is a tenor.
How long have they been with you?
They've been with me 5 years apiece.
I remember seeing you a few years ago at the station I'm working for, which is not this part of this project. I didn't place in Chicago here. They were doing, we taped the program, and I was very pleased, and you may not remember me. I was doing camera, and you came over. You were on one side of the room. I'm sitting here, and you came over and extended your hand. You came to me, and that really made me feel good.
Well, God bless that. I mean, maybe it was the vibes of God that brought me to you. You know, He works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, that's a real brother.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm glad to know that. Really, I mean, that's good coming from your mouth. You don't know. You make me feel good saying, like, you know, because you have a lot of black people. You know, they say that when they're entertaining, work around a lot of white people, you know, that they decide to pull that thing, you know, into the black man, you know. But me, I'm just Charlie Thomas, you know. I don't pick a color or anything like that, you know. But I pick people for people, you know what I mean. And like I don't think God Himself would pick a person for his color, you know. They say to try to be like Him, and I try my best to, you know, to walk that way. But I know I can't be that powerful, you know. But I carry no prejudice because my records, people, when they buy my records, they don't know what color, at the time, they didn't know what color was singing the record. They thought the Drifters was a white group.
That's one thing, my next question I want to ask you. That's one thing about the Drifters that I noticed. The Drifters were a group that the United States, America, really accepted. Without any of this so-called crap they call crossover and all that. You guys came out, you did a song. Everybody liked it.
Everybody loved. That's right.
And you know, it was just the Drifters. You know, they were not a black group. We all knew. You know, hey, it was just, you know, that's self-evident.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, and it was a group, and I think that I think you're a real treasure,
I
for
thank
the
you.
United States. I
I
really
think,
do.
and for my people,
Yeah, oh
and
yeah,
for my
oh
people
yeah,
too, of
folks.
course.
I
I mean, that's the work to get them ahead too. I mean, the job that I'm doing. Like I said, I don't have the prejudice, but in my heart, I do have my people.
oh yeah, that
You see, and that I got to crawl. Everything I do, I got to be doing for them.
Oh yeah.
You know,
You're
too.
not
So,
anti nobody, but you pro black.
yeah,
Nothing
but
wrong
I
with
know
that.
you can look at me and see that. You know, really. I mean, I can't hide that. That's number one.
Yeah. I was reading where you guys have also toured Russia.
Yeah.
Places like this. I mean, if you're talking about ambassadors, I don't think they could have picked a better representative than the Drifters, Ray Charles, and some of these guys, Duke Ellington, as they did Louis Armstrong. I think that was to me a real testament to how important the Drifters are as part of American culture.
Yeah, they picked us to go to Japan there too for the United States.
Yeah.
You know, and they had a Japanese doo-wop show.
Yeah.
You know, and they put us on the Japanese doo-wop show with a lot of Japanese guys, but which couldn't speak English, but they could sing English.
Yeah.
You know, and they just sung all the American songs. You know, and like they treated us so well. You know, and it was written all in all the papers how graceful that they treated us. You know, and they welcomed us with open arms. You know, and confetti and everything was all around the stage, and we really enjoyed that part of it too.
Who was the lead on Up on the Roof?
Rudolph Lewis.
And your voice, I said, was it him or Rudolph? I wasn't sure, because when I listened today, you've been there for a while, and I can.
Yeah, Rudolph Lewis. I was the lead on Sweets for My Sweets, and when my little girl is smiling, that was my lead. But see, like these guys that I used to live and sing with, they say they rubs off, and it did a lot of rubbing on me because it was in our heart to love each other because we was out traveling that road, and like our mothers and father wasn't with us at the time.
Yeah.
But so we had to begin to unite and tighten our
Take care
thing
of
and
each
be
other,
real loving brothers. You know what I mean? That's what we had all together. Like the older entertainers would have showed us that, like Duke Ellington and Ray Charles, like to say Little Richard and Clyde. My father even told us that this is even through the South, through Atlanta, Georgia, and Mississippi when the time was real hard, and we couldn't go in the front door, even go to the restroom. And we used to have a big bus called even Dick Clark Caravan of Stars was one of them, and Henry Wynn used to take out a big tour of all black buses, but Dick Clark had white and black, And this was showed to us that we had to unite and stick together, in other words, to lick this thing.
Oh, yeah.
So white and black, we stuck together, to lick out the problem in the South where we could eat good warm food and instead of going into the supermarket and get a can of Spam or Vienna sausages or something, that junk, and throw it in your food just to survive. So we stuck together, in other words, and it came up to the time that it happened, they closed that back window and let us into the front.
Yeah. Okay, today are you playing most your engagements are in places like the Fairmont, or are they smaller clubs or big view clubs, or what type of venues are you more or less?
Oh, we play big, the best. We play the best.
Well, I know this is one of the best.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we played the State Theater there. We was in the
Okay.
State there, right behind Frank Sinatra. The day that Sinatra left, we play. We played in Marriott. We play big clubs, man. I mean, we played conventions like, we work mostly for aluminum foil, Toyota, the PPA Police Department, the handicaps mostly. We go all across the world doing things like that. The fire departments. We just and the president. We worked for the president about 3 or 4 times. We worked for Susan Ford, and Ford was in there. We did his birthday. We did a thing for Ronald Reagan. And he's out of there now. So God bless him that he made it out. I mean, no hard feelings against him, but he went through rough times like every other president. But God bless him that he made it out safely, and then no one hurt him or anything.
Yeah. Speaking of aluminum, I thought something came to mind. The commercial that you and Kool and the Gang did.
Oh yeah, the bull of the wood. Yeah, the Sliz Malt Liquor Bull.
Real nice commercial.
Oh, that was beautiful. They're very they're very beautiful guys too. I was looking forward to doing another one of those, but like somehow or another, I think I outran the bull.
Yeah.
But it was a gorgeous thing. I still have the tape. Me and my missus always look at it, and the kids look at it and laugh. Laugh at the tape.
One thing also, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but it's always appeared to me that on the Drifters records there were always a Spanish sounding guitar.
Yeah, well, Henry, we had a guitar player named Abdul Samad. You know, he was Arab.
Okay.
And he always make this guitar sound like the Spanish sound. He could make it. He had a Gibson guitar, and it was older than Lynn Hope. It used to be a Lynn Hope band one time, and it was older than Duke Ellington. It was old, and he always used to patch it up, and everybody admired that guitar for the sound that used to come out. And he used to really make that guitar sound just like a mandolin or anything.
Yeah, it would.
Oh yeah, he was tremendous at it. He's he's working on about 90 years old now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and he still plays the guitar. He's a hypnotist, you know, and he was a beautiful gentleman, but he just had to give up the business from traveling so much.
Are you guys recording now or planning to record? Are you with a record company?
No, we just freelance. Like we go in. We got an album out called "The Drifters at the Bottom Line," you know, and we're going in when we get back home. You know, I'll be here for about another week, and then I'm going into the studio when I get back home. We just freelance.
What label will it come out of?
Well, I don't know what label I want to put on yet.
You can always use my company name as a label. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear that. I really hear it. But who knows? It might happen. You know, you never know.
Yeah, well,
You never know. It might happen. You know, but I just like we go in the studio. I'm looking forward to really doing some like Sam Cooke's old stuff, Lou Willie John stuff. You know, even Jimmy Reed's old stuff. You know, I mean, just really go into it and make it sound up to par. You know, I mean, I disco and stuff like that. Some of the music I love, you know, but some of it I can't really get into it, you know. But I can't knock music. It's music.
Oh yeah, it's music. Have you got any musicians traveling with you, or these are just musicians you pick up on the road, or what is it?
Well, these are just musicians I pick up on the road. The band in here tonight, they knew me from a long time ago, from the Tivoli and the Regal Theater long ago when I used to play there when I was a kid, about 18 years old.
You know, we got the new Regal now.
Well, they tell me that. I never knew it.
I
I would love that. If you put in the bed for me, I appreciate it because it'll bring back memories to me. I used to be there with Jerry Butler, the Iceman, and oh man, we used to have Gene Chandler. You know, good old times, man. It'll make me cry if I go over there and look at it. Probably.
Well, there's a new building. It's an old theater that Mr. Gardner refurbished. They did it the same way in which they did the Apollo. But I understand that Mr. Sutton have done put more money into it because you know what they've done. They're doing television production, which the Regal is heading, from my understanding, in that way. It's on 79th Street here in Chicago, which I think they just had a play close, Harlem Suite. Behind and what's her name, Stephanie Mills.
Yeah.
So it is. I think that given a little time, we'll be back with it.
It's not in the same place.
No, that's a parking lot on 47th.
Oh yeah.
King Drive. It's a parking lot. Yeah. With the new Regal. The Regal is out on 79th and Stony Island, right in that area.
Yeah, well, I left my mark back in that parking lot. You know, I know I did. You know.
A whole bunch of marks.
Yeah. Oh, me and Sam Cooke, we used to have a good time back there. And that was a great man. I mean, he was a great man. He really was. I mean, even when I'm on the stage, I think about Sam. You know, because he was tremendous, out of sight, entertaining, and was a gentleman. And half the stuff that they wrote about him in the paper was squash. He was no way like kicking down doors and, you know, laying up with somebody. I don't know. Who knows what happened, though, you know. But he was a gentleman's gentleman. I'll say that.
You did a song called "A Rose."
Of Spanish Harlem.
You know, a rose is just it was in Spanish Harlem.
There was a rose in Spanish Harlem.
No, not that one.
That's Benny King.
Yeah, not that one. It was just a rose by any other name is still a rose. And my friend, you know what I mean. The minute you, it was it was one of your later ones. You know, it came out I guess in the 70s.
In the 70s? No, I don't remember that one.
Well, I got it.
Yeah, you got that one, but I don't remember that. Maybe that's one of them bootleg ones.
No, it's you guys. It's on Atlantic, and I guess maybe that was one of the.
Maybe it was one they had on the shelf there, yeah, because they did have a whole lot up on the shelf that we never did release.
I really enjoyed the song. I did not, I don't make the chart. Obviously, you know, but there's some money about that. So
who voice did it sound like?
I think it was you. How long you been leading them?
Oh, well, I've been in there, you know. And I did about 2 songs back then, and they never did put them out.
Leave your address somehow. Send it all the information.
I sure will do that. I sure will do it. I love to hear myself when I was about 17.
It's amazing that you guys, like you're not recording today as such. whole generation out there who grew up with you.
Yeah.
And there's another generation out here who's still listening to you, who probably
Yeah.
going to grow up with you guys too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we was at the Martin Luther King Center down there for Martin Luther King.
Okay.
You know, and like they had little kids down there, and man, I sung me about 2 gospel songs, and well, you just saw the Holy Ghost get into them kids. Oh man, it's unbelievable. I mean, the kids here in Chicago, man, with the God gift, the God feeling, but they are something else. They're right in there with it. You know, I wouldn't compare them with kids in New York. Half of them in New York City don't even want to even think about God or nothing. You know, but the kids here in Chicago, they're doing a tremendous job in the schooling and, you know, and in the Bible too. Yeah.
Thank you very much for this interview, Charles. It has been real enlightening to me.
Uh-huh.
And it is something that would be personal.
I hear you.
I mean, the drifters is sing yourself.
I hear you. Don't sing now, Henry. Don't sing. Don't sing.
No.
I hear you. Well, you know, anybody can sing. I mean, you know, just you're a star in your own right. Never let anyone tell you what you can't do. You know, if you do it right, it's done. You know, and never let anybody say that they're a better man than you are, you know, because you're a man on this earth just like they are, you know. So a man was made to do more than one thing, you know. But don't be, anybody can do dirt. You know, anyone can do dirt, but, you know, the goodness in the heart is hard to find, you know. Just once you grab it, you hold on to it and love every bit of it.
Again, I want to thank you very much for
Henry,
the opportunity.
I wish I get over here to see you here. I got to get over here.
My address, their home address and everything, and really anytime you're around Chicago, just give me a shout. And I can take you around and show you some of the, as you say, where your parking lot is now, and where the new theater is.
I'll do so, brother. I'll do so. I really will do so. So God bless you and your company and your family and everybody else, you know, around in your midst. So, and I'm glad you got the drifters in your heart, man. We haven't gave up yet. I'm going to keep on running around this world as long as I got a world there, you know. So.
The drifters, Brook Bend, the late Brook Bend, sorry. I didn't get a chance to do the same thing I'm doing now. I would love to, but some of the guys are hard to catch up with.
I understand. So they are hard to catch up with. Brook, he disappeared for a while, and I did the last show he did. It was at the Marriott in New York City there, and he bought me a Bible. He did. He was minister before, you know, and he bought me a Bible. He said, "Charlie, I want you to have this," because he used to run around looking for me, you know. And he gave me the Bible, and Brook passed on about a couple of days later.
Wonderful voice.
Yeah, wonderful man. And Henry, I like I said, go with the best.
Yeah, where you guys going when you leave?
Well, I've been in New York one day, then I've been in Boston for about another week in Boston, and then I go down to Miami, Florida to Disney
World.
Yeah, Disney World, and I'll be down there for about 4 or 5 days. And I'll come back to the city and work around Manhattan for about 3 or 4. I'll be on the road this year, man. When you know, like during the holidays, the Christmas holidays, it slows down for all entertainers. But during this year, man, I've seen my bookings already. I'm booked about every day until next Christmas, you know. And that's even to make to buy a present for people now. All the money I make, then I buy presents.
Yeah.
But this Christmas, I think I'm gonna put a trick on them. I may come in and stay in Chicago with you, and then nobody know I'm here.
There's one thing. Speaking of dates, have you ever appeared in Africa?
No, we haven't. We haven't ever appeared there. Well, I don't know. Tutu. All right.
Yeah.
I think he's the greatest man that ever happened to anything in Africa. I think he's a real warrior.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, if he would call for me to appear there, I would go. He's probably about the only one. You see what I mean? But see, like if you go into the homeland, see, and you come back to this land, they got bad names for you. You see what I mean? Like I got a couple of sisters and brothers, and even in New York City, they got very bad names for the white generation and the black. Okay, see, and it's a shame that you can't go over there and treat people like people. You understand?
Well, you
okay. Well, that's no, I haven't been there. I mean, years back I have. When I was young, I went over there, and just in and out. But I didn't understand anything that's going on. You know, but now I'm older and a little wiser. I would understand even
Regenerate
more. You know, I mean, if they say go, I'll go. I mean,
Yeah.
I will go.
Yeah.
I will go. You know, I'll be glad to go. You know, I think they would love the Drifters too.
Yeah,
I really
think it
do.
would too. Now that you mentioned that, I mean, I'm glad I was still recording. You speak of that. What are your thoughts on the entertainers who go there and they're put on this list saying, hey, we're not, performing in South, and I like to call it Azania. That's the name.
Yeah,
but South Africa. Do you think that is right for people to say the Drifters appeared there, or whoever appeared there, and you should not support them? Do you think that they're right in doing that? And this is a political statement. I don't know. You wish you had.
I don't think it's right. I mean, see, an entertainer got love in the heart for music, okay? And that way they have to have love in the heart for people too.
Yeah.
I mean, of all races.
But you can't love both.
You gotta love them. You gotta love them all.
I know what you're saying.
Henry, you can't pick one side. You gotta love them all. I mean, this is where my Christian religion teaches me. Okay, all right. I can't hate a man because he's white.
But not hate him.
I mean, I can't even dislike him. I can't even dislike
But
him.
just don't perform for it.
That would be wrong too. That would be wrong, Henry.
But then he ought to do right.
Well, I mean, he will reap what he sowed. You see what I mean? He will reap what he sowed. Okay, but this can't make me. I can't live like him.
Yeah.
See, this will only make me live like him. See, I got to be me. See, and I got to, because he got 3 or 4 in there that's not doing right, don't mean that all is doing right or wrong. You know, doing wrong it is. But he will reap in due time. He will reap what he sowed. You understand? And in time to come, God would put the hand down on, like they have quakes and hurricanes and even down when it was in Mississippi, God woke it up and burned places down, and he suffers for it. He suffers for it. You don't have to lift your hand because the mighty man will make him pay. See, but I can't make him pay. See, I got to serve. He might be there when I'm trying to sing for 3 of my black people anyway. He might be standing right there in front of him, and the little black eyes might be peeping over his shoulder. Okay, and I'm singing to my little black brothers over there, but he's still there. The devil is still in there. He's into everything. See what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can only fight him in some way. But I mean, with knives and guns, and it don't make sense. It don't make sense because he gonna be there. He gonna be there. You see, so you can't. You said it, and you can't take an entertainer and put them in a position because this is their livelihood. This is what they love to do, and the love that comes out of their body, they're spreading it around. You see what I mean? It shouldn't be the entertainer that's paying for that cause because they have to feed their family, and this is the way that the entertainer feeds their family, by pleasing people of all nationalities. You understand me?
Yes, I understand very well.
Yeah, okay, I thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much again, Charles.
Yeah, God bless.
I want to get a couple photographs of you, and I'll be happy. Okay.